I don't know what Texas holds them. I wanted to jam there, but I didn't have any experience with this opponent, but I wanted to go all in. But there's a potential 4 of a kind, full houses in the flush, so. Let's see what the number 1 player has here. Nice call. What do you have? Bullshit. Fuck off. Well, I guess he had a straight draw, so that's. I think they were cheating though, because the odds of hitting the straight, he had 8 outs. Yeah, out of 47 cards. So you had a 1 in 6 chance, basically. I think it's 5.5, but it's pretty suspicious. Because they call it the 10K bet with Queen Jack offsuit pre-flop. So again, all the perpetrators right there, so I'm permanently. Because all they do is cheat. They pretend it's real money. It's not real money. Play for $400 million real money because I'm gonna call. I think he has the queen though. Brunson won 2 World Series of Pokers with the 10 deuce. I like to try to win occasionally with it. Trades Doyle. Okay, so I just tried to click a mirror and they made me double click, so I'm registering permanently again. When they just hacked my eyes to look at a sprinkler, so again, the perpetrators again. When they don't cheat, I win. When they cheat, I lose. The whole point of poker is to figure out your opponent's hands, not to see the cards like a little bitch. I'm gonna put people in prison in the future that cheat. I'm the true king. They rip me off and they stop me. They make me suffer because I'm not able to get rich because they rip me off in poker. So their family's going to prison for like 50 years. You know, in North Korea, if you go to prison, your family goes to prison. And they rip me off like for over a year now. So that caused, you know, they torture me. They in Toronto, they'd burn me and then freeze me at the same time because they ripped me off in poker. So your family's going to prison for ripping me off. Even though this is play money. They ripped me off. My life experience. So once I'm king, I'm gonna send your families to prison. They fucking make me suffer. These people, they think they're getting like $50, but there's other monsters that fucking violate me considerably. That was a nice hand. So I'll unregister again here. If you're new to poker, on the button here when you're the dealer is a good time to sometimes bluff, and you don't need to have like the highest quality hand because you're last in position, so you have more time to react. Whereas when you're first in position, it's called under the gun, and so you don't get any information from your opponent. So you need a stronger hand for when you're under the gun, and you don't need as strong of a hand like when you're dealer, right? Like if you're under the gun, you probably want your ace king, and then if you're a dealer, you'd probably want something like an ace 10. Because if you see me play, and I'm playing something like ace 6 or whatever, I just happen to have an ace in my hand, and I plan on bluffing most likely if the situation arises where I can bluff. It's a garbage hand. Ace 6 is a terrible hand. Because you hit your pocket aces, or you hit your ace, and then somebody could have ace king, and then they have a higher kicker, so you lose a lot of money. So like you got to, like I played, like I'm pretty seasoned now. Like I played more hands than like say 95% of the poker community. So maybe say 90% anyways, and so that means that I could play weaker hands now, just based on skill, not based on hand quality. Like I'm gonna try to steal the pot here. Like this is another terrible hand, ace 9, because I can't make a straight with it. And 9 is a back here. I remember the first time I played in a tournament, it was in Garden River, Ontario. I had ace king and I lost to ace 9, and I thought he was the weakest player on the planet because the pros said that those hands were garbage, right? And so when I lost, I was so disappointed. It was like a $50 tournament, and but it's such a, because really when you go ace 9, he had versus ace king, he had 3 9s in the deck to make his hand, right? So he got lucky, and but it's such a weak hand, ace 9. It would have been different if he would have played me with the hand, but we went in pre-flop, right? Because back then, that's when, this was about 10, 15 years ago. So that's what people did. They would go all in pre-flop. And a lot of people still do that. They'll go all in pre-flop, or with the ace king, they'll jam on the flop. Like they'll go all in on the flop with ace king. And so sometimes I'll call with a pair of deuces because I know they have ace king when they do it. But, you know, not all the time, because they could have pocket aces, or they could have a pocket pair. Like this hand's pretty, but it's pretty disappointing. Like you can't make a royal flush though, right? So that's but you got to proceed with caution, right? Like it's oh wow. So I'm gonna call because I have top pair. So probably gonna chop pot it. Yeah, chop pot. Oh no, he won the main pot. So that was a brutal turn on river. They cheated here again, so once again unregistered. Let's try to steal the pot there. I didn't have the pair, but I was hoping they folded. I didn't want to get called, because chances are they would have outdrawn me. Because that's the luck I have. That's how come I was able to put a guy on a straight flush, because I know they ripped me off, so it's likely that he had it. But there's 2 possible straight flushes. He could have that 8, or the 9, pardon me, or the king. So there was the 2 straight flushes that he could have had. One of a kind. There was 3 full houses. There was 3 of a kind and 3 2 pairs and a pair. So the odds were 1 in millions. So I'm just gonna unregister here again because they like to. There's a system where they think they could, if they rape you, they could steal your money. Right, so they register. Most people, they have to unregister once, but they make me have to unregister like every hand, it seems, to cheat me out of inexperience. They're losers. And mankind's going extinct as a result. Like the Pope prayed to me like I was God, and he's dead now. He was the 266th Pope. There's been one God, 266 Pope, now 267 Popes. And in 1992, he hit the heart. Of course he was going to hit the heart. But in 1992, these people thought they were screwing me over, but they eliminated 4 plants that mankind needed to survive. So you go extinct in the future because of that. And as of December 18th, 2024, they were likely to go extinct because I realized December 13th, 2024, that my brain controls the world, and they stopped following my organic directive. And now, May 2025, they hospitalized me, and even though I could adjust the testosterone in my brain or estrogen in my brain, they say that the doctor he's an idiot. I showed him my unique skeleton and unique bones, and they still shit. Oh, I got lucky. They still they don't give me an X-ray or positron emission tomography or an ultrasound, and so I have a scar on my hand that looks like a 25, and it never looked like a 25 before the year 2025. So mankind is running out of time. Basically, the year is almost half over, and every second that I'm in the hospital, like, because I've been speaking on spy channels, and they pretend it's not 2025. So every second that I'm in the hospital increases the likelihood that you're going to go extinct faster. And I can save you, but why would I save you when they rape my human experience? Like, they've never allowed me to have my natural attributes to myself. Like, before I was born, Canada was 27th in the world in Olympics. And then they boycotted, I was born in 77. This was the 1976 Olympics. They were 27th in the world, and then they boycotted the 1980 Olympics. So when I was 7, they were 6th in the world. I sought asylum in 2019. This is all verifiable information on the internet. I sought asylum in 2019, and Canada lost $100 billion in 2020 as a result of me seeking asylum. And they sold me a gun. Well, I bought an illegal gun, to get off the streets in 2014, and because they wanted to throw me in prison. So that meant in 2015, Canada lost $300 billion. And every monarchy that I checked about 6-7 monarchies, they all lost money that year because I'd be the true monarch of those countries, and they wanted to throw me in prison and just kind of keep me in there. And I'm the most important person on the planet because of evolutionary DNA, and they use my mind for strategy, my subconscious mind. And but they don't follow my organic directive once I figured out that my mind controlled the planet. So it's going to be insubordination, attempted regicide, and dereliction of duty, sedition. So they're going to be punished considerably. And Canadians don't think I have any power, but there's the Queen on the $20 bill, right? So Canada is a Commonwealth country, and so that means I could strip Canada of the Commonwealth status, and I control the weather machine. Basically, like right now in 2025, it's unseasonably cold because I'm in the hospital. It's 10 degrees below normal because I'm in the hospital. Because they pretended these Tim Hortons employees, on Drummond in Niagara Falls, they pretend that I'm in Antarctica because that was one of their consequences I was going to give to them. So they pretend I'm in Antarctica to make me freeze, and Neptune. So I'm gonna make it like I try to make it -20 for people, because -20 for me, with my biology, I'd want to take off my shirt and it'd be hot for me. My natural attributes, like it takes a lot colder weather, right? They have to pretend it's like -70, -80, even before I feel cold. Like when I take a shower, they, at the hospital, they're not giving me hot water, so I have warm showers. I have to shower in the sink, basically. Right, so eventually, nobody's gonna get cold shower or hot showers ever again. They made me say cold showers. Nobody's gonna get hot showers. They splice my DNA to pretend that they're me, and they try to punish me, and then try to save themselves. So that's not gonna work. Evidence is in their earwax, and they're gonna be hunted down by my system of death that protects me. Because every time I say I'm gonna give a consequence to them, they give it to me right now, and they try to pretend that they're suffering through me, but make me suffer. So they're gonna get more consequences, and their family's gonna suffer as well, because they're doing this to me. They're little coward little bitches. Yeah, they pretended I was in Antarctica, the Arctic, Alaska. Well, it was Antarctica, I thought, and then Alaska, and then the Arctic, right? I'm the only person that realizes that they skewed what I was going to say. Nobody else could realize that. So I'm going to punish them accordingly. Because in Canada, there's a freedom of thought. That means the Canadian government acknowledges that they can listen to your thoughts, but then they pretend schizophrenia is not man-made. They're cowards. I was going to jam, but good thing I didn't, because he had queens. So every time they pretend that these consequences are happening to them, but they're doing it living through my body or somebody else's, they're going to get extra pain once they're pain. And every one of their teammates. I mean, Justin Trudeau resigned. Pope died, and a supercentenarian died in the same week. That's what happens when they fuck with me. But people survive when they're near my biology, so that's why they put me in the hospital to try to save generational pedophiles in Sault Ste. Marie. But once I'm out of the hospital, I'm seeking asylum. I have video proof that of me aging on film. Right, and my doctor today, he's like, because I showed him pictures of it. I'm like, I showed you pictures of me looking 70 years old, and I now look 30. And he's like, Christian, you were living on you were homeless, and now you're not stressed in the hospital. It's like, you fucking idiot, you crackerjacks, you got your fucking degree from Africa, man, not even a Canadian fucking university, you fucking retard. As if old people wouldn't have fucking wrinkles then. Thinking that my body rejuvenated because I'm not stressed, you fucking piece of shit loser. I'm gonna execute him and then put his kids in prison for 50 years, hard labor. I know he has a daughter because I seen her on COVID. She was like 8 years old a few years ago, so she's probably like 13 right now. So she's gonna go to prison for 50 years, hard labor, for violating me, her father. I showed him, like, I have a unique skeleton, and he's an organized crime member. I'll be able to prove this in the future. He's an idiot. He keeps on trying to get me to give him blood. I'm not giving him fucking blood. So I'm appealing the process, and it could take up to 6 months, but I should win voluntary status. So then, hopefully I get to leave the hospital, but I'm going to appeal it. And even if I have to stay in the hospital for 6 months, I wouldn't care. I'm going to fight it. And then as soon as I get out, I'm going to seek asylum and assume, like, for medical malpractice. He gave me a different diagnosis because he was trying to hide somebody else's culpability. Right? So it'd be like, and he wants to medicate me. Like, luckily enough, like, my brain is malleable, meaning I'd recover. But if I had regular biology like everybody else, he'd be giving me the wrong medicine, so he'd fuck up my brain permanently by making the wrong diagnosis. That's medical malpractice. I posted a video like in August 21st, 2019 that said basically that the Canadian government is going to use schizophrenia as a tactic against me, and they did 5 months later. He took the bait. He's a fucking idiot. He went to some African university, probably took like fucking some upgrading courses in Canada, but he's a moron. He is a fucking moron. Because in Canada and in the United States, like they have a problem, man. Like they're in Ivy League schools. There was too many white students going to Harvard and Yale, Princeton, and Columbia, and like that they started opening up standards for ethnic minorities to go to these schools, excluding white students that were more qualified. So they want more. They don't want the best pilot. They want the most ethnic pilot. Imagine that, having a pilot that's not qualified as somebody else. Because unfortunately, like in the pilot analogy, like Africans, they didn't even domesticate fucking horses. They didn't even write down language. Right? They just jumped. Right? They didn't do much. They were primitive. They had their lip plates in. They had their tits that sag down to their navel. They stayed traditional too long, basically. Whereas like white people, they had chariots. Right, so that means that our brains are used to traveling at faster speeds because we domesticated horses for thousands of years. So our brains are used to going faster. That's why most race car drivers are white, because it's in our DNA. And we have better balance because we had fucking snow. When you have snow, you slip. You slip and slide in the snow. You don't slip and slide on sand in fucking Africa. You probably burn their feet. That's probably why they're fast runners, because the fucking ground was fucking hot. So they had to move fast. But fucking you slip on snow, like at least probably like 10,000 times a winter. You slightly slip and you have to recover your balance. Why do you think that white people like skateboarding, snowboarding, skiing, skating? I've never seen a black fucking tightrope walker walking across the tightrope. I've never seen a black tightrope walker. But they think they're the best athletes on the planet, and they participate in 11 sports. I'm just pissed off because in the system, the black people violate my kids quite a bit, so that's why I'm pissed off at black people. And Jamaicans, they try to slaughter Norway. Norway is a small country. There's maybe 8 million people, and they win so many medals in the Winter Olympics. Every day, Norwegians do more athletic pursuits than fucking Jamaica does. Jamaica participates in sprinting. It's the only fucking sport they do. Right? In Australia, another white country, they win Winter Olympics, and they don't have fucking snow in Australia. They don't have fucking snow in Australia, but they participate in the Winter Olympics. Fucking white people participate in more sports than probably every other ethnicity. And they have this inferiority, they think they're the most superior people on the planet. Like even Kanye West wrote a song, said, "We're mighty proud of ourselves all of a sudden, aren't we?" Saying that black people, they think they're God's chosen people, and they just had fucking civil rights, man. They perform some of the worst on IQ tests because they come from a country where they didn't write down their words. They didn't even develop mathematics. Whereas white people, we navigated the fucking oceans. We had to create a sextant, right? You can only navigate by the stars so long before there's an overcast. So you have to develop mathematics, right? So island countries are always going to be the most dominant on the planet once civilization happened. That's why the Brits or the Japanese, it would have been the Japanese, the Brits or the Danes, island countries, because they have to have a navy, right? And navies cross oceans, right? So basically Canute, the Vikings, they used to raid England, the temples in England, and the Brits, they didn't even know where the fucking Danes were coming from, but the Brains would stick and move. They would pillage and steal the gold from their temples and stuff like that, so they were vulnerable, right? And look at World War II, the Germans didn't conquer England, they conquered France, but they didn't conquer fucking England because they were an island country. Right? And the Japanese, if they were in Europe, they would have been just up there, right? But they, for like 300 years, because I'm related to, I'm going to be the true Japanese emperor, right? Like they used to raid Korea all the time in China, right? They never, the Chinese and the Koreans never knew where the fuck they were coming from, because when you're an island country, you could stick and move. You don't. So basically what happened with mankind, I was born the year that the Voyager 2 telescope came out, when mankind's like, hey, aliens, here's where we are in the Milky Way universe. You're a predator because only predators build tools. But we're going to let you know where our house is, and we don't know where your house is. And then in Canada, like in the West, they had a book about Superman. Right, in Canada, in our national anthem, it said, God save our land, glorious, and then I emerged biologically immortal. I'm God. I couldn't have got more obvious. You got a yellow sun, I got blonde hair. You got a blue sky and a blue ocean. I got blue eyes and I got white skin. You got white clouds. So I'm a blonde haired, blue-eyed guy, right? That couldn't have been more obvious. My aura is different to every other human on the planet. Even my evolutionary kids. If they had the same aura, then I would think that it was just evolution's aura. But I have a different aura than my kids. So I knew I was mankind's God for about a year now. And then in January, I realized I controlled the aliens as well, because I'm like, people would prod my brain for military technology. And I'm like, well, how come aliens haven't taken advantage of this? Because really, if aliens wanted Earth, all they would have to do is take all the water and then submerge all the land, throw tsunamis at all the land. And then once the water receded, they would have the planet, and then we're dead, right? And there's other technologies that they would have, but so it's like, well, how come aliens haven't taken advantage of this? And it's because I control them. I control the heaven and hell, basically. I could show, like, I'll show you now after this video. When you look at my eyes, you'll see heaven. And then when you look at my chin, I'll show you hell. But if you're good, you won't die. But if you're evil, you'll die when I show you hell. So you are warned. But when you see my eyes, when you watch this video at any point in time in the future, I'll reveal something about your life that only you and God should know. Only something small. I'm not going to tell you how to make money or anything like that, but I'll tell you like something like, say, what your grandmother told you when you were young, or something that nobody could possibly know. I'll show you right now. So I'll show you first, like right now they hide my aura, so my eyes aren't going to light up. Right now my eyes aren't lit up, but now look at my eyes are lit up. So when you look into my eyes, I'm going to tell you something that only you and a family member told you when you were young at different times in your life. Something very important. And then now showing you how. Right? And that's for evil people. So once again, this is heaven. So when you see my eyes, you're going to see something in life that only you know. Like something personal, like how you like to eat food, or something small. And because once I'm king, once I'm proclaimed king and God, I'm going to be able to give you the heaven on earth machine, where when you have some free time, you're going to be able to ascend into heaven, and then you can pick my mind and ask me questions about life and all that. But you can't utilize it to make money in the future, because everybody wants money. But really, money is just a tool. Money is in the future, it's going to be lifestyles, right? Because people want a lifestyle. People do have to work because you need to eat. And utopian type of environments, like, because I'm worth like something like $860 trillion. So I can make it so unofficially. So that means I could make it so people don't have to work. But people get lazy and fat when they don't work, right? So you have to stay motivated, and you don't live as long. You don't live as long because you need to have goals, right? And so it's a lifestyle you want. Like, so some people, like for me, like I'm Canadian. If I was a regular guy, I'd want to have some property in the States. That's kind of the Canadian dream, right? Like either have a camp or have some property in the States that you could just go travel to in the wintertime. Like they call them the snowbirds. Like, so usually people go down to Florida or Arizona, or they go to Arizona because it's dry. So if they have like asthma or breathing problems, they'll go to Arizona. But like that's the Canadian dream, right? Like they don't want to shovel snow no more, and so they go to Florida. Like that's the Canadian dream, is to have some property in the States, or to have or to have, they're not allowing me to change. So here I go, toggle the redirection. That's strange. My camera just messed up. I have to close that up. I don't know how to change it. There we go. They try to get me to film people. But anyways, that's Canadian dream, either to have like a camp somewhere, or like some people just want to just have a little bit of property or whatever, right? So everybody has a different lifestyle that they want. So in the future, there is going to be money, but it's mainly, the goal is to have the lifestyle you want. That's all you should want. Like some people like me, I like privacy, so I'd want a private island. I'd want a private island. And when I had company, I would just turn on the light, be like, okay, with the lights on, I'm going to be hosting. Everybody come by. But if the lights off on the dock, then that just means I want privacy, right? So it's basically a lifestyle that you want, right? And so that should be the dream, right? So in the future, that's going to be the goal, is to make it so people could get the lifestyle you want. Because right now, unfortunately, generational pedophiles, they rule the planet. So that means most people, their dreams don't come true because they're not generational pedophiles, right? So, it takes 5 generations. So that means your family has to rape each generation for 5 generations to get in the system. And unfortunately, my family is the main generational pedophile system because I'm related to Jesus and Mary Magdalene. They had kids. That's why they're in the Da Vinci Code. They kind of alluded to that. So the church has kind of hidden this fact, and it takes technology, right? It takes technology to see my aura, that it's different. Like if you see my aura, I look like sunlight to it, because our sun is basically a 3rd generation sun, meaning that there's a 1st generation sun that lived its entire, say, 5 billion year life cycle, exploded, supernova, and then it becomes heavier elements. And then there's a 2nd generation sun that did this. So there's alien civilizations that survived and escaped their exploding sun. But the iron in our blood is from a dead star. So the light, our aura, is from that dead star as well. So mine shines a little bit brighter because, I am God. And people knew this when I was 10 years old. And they play a switch. And then the other side, they knew this when I was 3 months old. Right? So they used my mind, my subconscious mind, to predict the future. I could win the lottery if I wanted to, like with rocks. I could, because they put subliminal on things, and I could pull up information and win the lottery based on, just predicting the future. So I might end up doing that at one point, just to become famous, so I could advocate for my breed. And then once again, I'm going to be worth trillions of dollars, unofficially, right? So then I'd give the money back just to reveal the skim. Because most people that win the lottery are generational pedophiles. And so they buy things at like car dealerships. So they reveal the skim, like the generational pedophile system, because where they make their big ticket purchases, it reveals the skim, right? And pro sports is rigged, unfortunately, like, because in Canada, every surface is measured and monitored, right? And every country has a different system. But in Canada, wherever you step, they put a Gauss reading. It's GAUSS. They put a magnetic field on surfaces, so it manipulates movement. So basically, they could pretend they like to simulate that I'm gay. So what they do is they'll make it so it seems like a magnet that I'd be like they put the iron in my blood. They make the iron in my blood like repel women, but be attracted to men. Like my body will walk towards a man and then repel towards women. This wasn't always the case, but sometimes they don't do it. Like when they don't do it, women walk into my arms. Like this at Union Station, this one beautiful woman, like when they didn't do it, they kind of showed the system and to me. But this woman she just walked right into my arms, and I would have hit on her, but I was homeless, and but she was could have been my soulmate. She was one of the ones that could have been my soulmate, but unfortunately, I can't have just one woman to be my soulmate, because these generational pedophiles would kill her, first of all, and then it's just better off if I'm desired by many, because I need to advocate for my species, because I am a different species than mankind. Like I have different. I'll just show you after this hand or this video, this term. But I have different muscles than the rest of the human race. So I'm a different species. So I need at one point, like if mankind behaves, I'll be able to surrogately have kids with the human race. So that I would have to have sex with many different women, right? So I can't just have one wife, unfortunately. So I was married at one point and happily separated for 10 years now. So I did have I did at least live a typical life for part of my life. Like the first 30 something years of my life was pretty good. Like Canada did let me do things like, they didn't write me off, don't get me wrong, but it was pretty good. It was only the last 11 years of my life that sucked. The last 11 years of my life has been completely shitty. Because I bought a gun and to get off the streets, and once again, the Canadian economy suffered $300 billion because of that. And when I sought asylum, they lost $100 billion because of that. This time, if I seek asylum, they're going to lose over $1 trillion. Because my value to the Canadian economy. Because I'm able to make your car power off wind. Right, wind's unlimited as long as we have an atmosphere. But we have these OPEC countries that they don't want that to happen. They're fucking idiots. They want to pollute the planet. They have to pollute the planet to age me, to make me look 47. I should look 25. And so it is kind of good, like that they did learn how to age me because I have kids, right? So I want to look 5 years older than my son, basically, when I'm near him, and I'm not near my son, so I want to look young. So when I said that, I could feel my body change, like they want to age me, right? But anyways, like I'm gonna be able to power like buildings and cars off wind, and it's basically a perpetual motion. I mean, like I can make it so robots will never stop. So my robots in the future are gonna hunt down evil, and they'll never stop. They'll never have to charge their batteries because they'll charge with sunlight and light, and their fuel source will be wind, so they'll never stop hunting you down, right? And so the government's learning how the brain works through me, and really all they're doing is they're fucking idiots. Like aliens see your satellites before they get to Earth, right? So like these people, like all militaries are like, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. No, you're gonna do fucking nothing, because aliens are gonna take out satellites even before they get in our atmosphere. So you're gonna be old school. You're gonna be like pen and paper, smoke signals, and fucking Morse code, and right. But you're not gonna have the internet. You're not gonna have your ballistic missiles. You're not gonna have any of that bullshit, because aliens would take that out. So the more they learn through me how the human brain works, they're going to be able to hack your fucking brain too and do it better than you, because they're smarter than you, right? It's like if they come here, right? Because really humans, we're just microbes on one grain of sand, right? But some aliens, they have a sandcastle. They have that many planets, right? So if they come here, they're more advanced than us. If we go there, we're more advanced than them probably. Right? So if they come here, we have lights out for mankind. They're never going to get rid of me. I'm the most valuable person. Like, and aliens have never abducted anybody, because they would have abducted me. I'm the most valuable biology on the planet. If they have abducted me, mankind's basically neutered. You'd be screwed, especially before I had kids, right? So they never abducted anybody, because they would have abducted me. And but I could show you right now. After this turn, I'll show you. I thought I was going to show you before, but I can show you how the process of me levitated with quantum mechanics and particle entanglement. Like I'm with computers, basically, I'm able to levitate, and but every country has a budget to protect me, and so when I go to levitate, because they don't want me to levitate on film and prove it, right? Because then people are going to know, they're going to be like, okay, this guy's God, we better listen to him and all that, right? So you'll see my body, once I say it, you'll see my body start to levitate. And I basically go up about an inch, and then they stop me from levitating. Oh, there's should be a child pot. But yeah, you could just look at the 1976 Olympics and see how it was was 27th in the world, and then the 1984 Olympics, you could see how Canada was 6th, America was 3rd in 1976, and then they were 1st in 1984. And it's because of my biology. Like through chemical electrolysis, they're able to steal my strength. Like in January, I'm even stronger now because they made me evolve. Like I figured out I could evolve and to change so they poisoned me to evolve basically. And because they want my son's the best soccer player on the planet. And they want to make it so he has to take many teammates off the field and he would have to compete with very few teammates because they're fucking pussies. They'd rather have cheats than true human talent. Right? Because people don't walk up to us and be like, hey, God, are aliens? They treat us as human, right? But then they restrict us like we're superhuman. They're fucking pussies. Oh, I may have gotten lucky. Oh, he's going to hit the diamond most likely. So yeah, I'll show you what the levitation after this, and then I have to hand in my phone, so this will be done to the tournament. I forgot the first thing I was going to show you because I intentionally blocked it takes 150 kilotons of pollution to make me forget words, and they think they're fucking losers. They want haze. You're going to have to wear like spacesuits in the future to continue aging me. And I'm never going to make it concentrate for them. And so I would have won with the flash straight. I'm never going to make it concentrate for them. I'm going to make it cost 10 times as much and 10 times harder with more pollution because I survive. They don't. Why the fuck would I want my enemies to age me? My son's biologically immortal too, right? So he's going to look about 25, right? So I just need to look 30. I don't need to look any older than 30. So I'll show you. Okay, so that's what I'll show you the back muscles, and then I'll show me about like trying to levitate, and then I'll show you like here's the countries that are going to restrict me. Right, that I just showed you, in the subconscious, like the countries that are going to restrict me. It's hundreds of countries that restrict me. And with particle entanglement, if they didn't restrict me, I'd be able to walk through walls. And it's a skill that I might need to protect you from aliens. But they think restricting Superman is advantageous. It's only advantageous for generational pedophiles. Oh, he called. What did he call with? He has queen, nice hand. Oh, this sucks. My blinds are so low, I have to go all in. They're so high. I mean, so they hacked me to say the opposite there. I heard a click in my ear. They're fucking losers. Speed. No speed. So I can't do it. So in the future, the world's going to see that I never make a mistake. So every mistake I've made was caused. And Canada's going to look absolutely inept. Like, I have evolved human biology. We see a pigeon when they peck, like look what they did to my face. That's what my face looked like in January. Like you can see my eyes look like machines because they have nanotechnology eye cameras on my eyes. And I'll show you what I look like now. You see what I look like. This is me, and those pictures are from January, and the doctor's like, oh, it's because you're not stressed. No, you fucking idiot. He's an idiot. So anyways, right, like this is, like here's a black version of me. Looks just like me. Here's a Jordanian version of me. I'm the true king of the world. All these people look like me because I'm the true king. I'm the true king. They all look like me. I look like Sun Tzu. I look like Roman emperors because I'm the true fucking king. Give me my fucking thrones. So anyways, I'll show you. So anyways, here's here's Empress Victoria. So this is her when she was young. That's my daughter. This is her when she was young. That's my daughter. Here's my map. Other than the white area, I have genetic relations to everywhere. Anywhere there's a monarchy, I have claims to. You know, I look like Allah. I look like, this guy looks like my dad, Frederick III. My parents look like German emperors. I look like Marcus Aurelius. I call myself Marcus Othrocris Because I got that salacious voice. I used to charm, even as slaves, I used to charm queens. That's how come I became king. You know, I look like Edward VIII. But anyways, so here's my unique pectoral muscles, those ridges right there. And I'll show you unique back muscles. So here's what a generation 1 back muscle looks like. You can see those indentations right there. There's my back muscles. You can see the difference. I'm human too, but they keep on raping my human experience. And here's my son. He's generation, like he'd be 1.5. He has different muscles than regular people, but he has different muscles as me too. There's basically 3 different types of humans on the planet. And they restrict my wealth. And right here, look at this scar. It looks like a 25 because it's the year 2025. They changed my scar. And this is me. I unhacked my scar in front of my son and got him to take a picture because my scars would heal. Imagine that. Fucking how monstrous is the Canadian government to make it so my scars don't heal? They're fucking losers. They're a loser country. I look like Emperor Meiji, right? Like, I'm the true Japanese emperor. His mom looks like my mom. Her birthday's October 20th. My birthday's October 20th. I look like Brad Pitt because we're cousins. I look like this guy, the Italian king, because I'm the true monarch. Like here, this is a royal invitation. You can see where it says Princess Louise. My family went to a royal invitation because I used to have nobility in my family. Like I look like, this guy's name was on the back of it. He looks like my mom's brother. He looks like me. He looks like my dad. So he's a field marshal. He's equivalent to, like, say there's a 5-star general, right? Then there might be a 5-star general that's the field marshal for all of Europe, right? So he was the biggest guy, right? And this is when the United Kingdom was the biggest, the superpower of the world. There was an expression that said that the sun never sets on the British Empire because they had colonies on each continent. And Field Marshal Colin Campbell was the biggest guy in the army. I look like Captain James Cook. My grandmother's name was Ivy Marion Cook. She told me that we could be related to Captain James Cook. This is from Trafalgar Square. And he looks like me. He looks like my grandfather, her husband. So I'm related to him on double. This is Miyamoto Musashi, like a Japanese samurai. I look like him. Right? And this is the Canadian, well, this is a frequency gun. Right here, this one, they can broadcast frequency into your brain and make you feel pain with frequency. And this one, they can implant thoughts in your brain, but they pretend that they can't. Right? And this is the Seattle Seahawks roster. I added a Christian, but there was a Myers on the team. There was a Diggs on the team. My name in high school was Christian Meyer Diggins, and we go by Diggs. Right? So there's Meyer Diggs, and there's a Brit, there's a King, there's a Neil, there's a Locke. Right? So this is hidden in plain sight. Like, I'm the true fucking king. Treat me as such. I'm gonna execute your families. Like, look at all these people. They all look like, this guy looks like me and Michael Jordan. He's a king. This is a Rothschild relative. If I was to grow older, like, that's what I would look like. This is Abraham from the Bible. I look like him in the Quran and the Torah. The King Solomon. I look like all these guys. They've been stacking my family's like, there's my dad. They've been stacking my DNA for, like, I look like this guy. Like, I forget this guy's name right now, but, like, he looks like my twin. Like, it's either Sitting Bull or Big Bear. I look like, this is Geronimo. I look like him. I look like this guy. This is Quanon Parker. And then, oh, here's Sitting Bull. So this guy's Big Bear. And my dad was Big Barry. I look like everybody. I look like Leonardo. I look like, look, this is Michelangelo. I look like Michelangelo. They routed 350,000 talented people through my DNA. Then they're shocked. Like, I look like Hannibal Baccara. Well, this is Scipio Africanus. Like, he never lost the battle. I look like Alexander the Great. I look like Genghis Khan. There's Genghis Khan. I look like Genghis Khan. I look like fucking everybody. Here's Hannibal. And no, this is Pompey. There's Hannibal. There was Hannibal. Hannibal Baccara was, the Romans feared Hannibal Baccara. The Romans fear me now. I'm going to be known as the greatest military tactician that's ever lived, because West Point uses my mind for strategy. Every military college uses my mind for strategy. So anyways, so I showed you the back muscles. So now I'll show you with me levitating, trying to levitate. And then this is going to be the government restricting me from levitating. So watch my body. So this is me levitate. You see me going up? That's me starting the levitation process. That's them keeping my feet on the ground. There's the countries that restricted me right there. But if they didn't do that and this right here, that's me, like once again, can you see my finger? That's me right there, they're restricting it. But that's me with particle entanglement and quantum mechanics. That would be me morphing, going through metal. And here's me, right? Like there's the strength. They're stopping me right now from crushing this metal with my hands. That's how strong I am. Like my dad, they made him an alcoholic, but I seen him he was on all his hands and knees. He got up and all 5 cops went flying in 5 different directions. They went like this. Right? They went flying. That's how strong we are. And I'm even stronger. My son's even stronger. You know, he was related to Louis Cyr, a strong guy. My great-grandfather, he was so strong that he had a belt saying he was the toughest motherfucker in town. I knocked out 13 guys after my son was born because they kept picking a fight with me. I knocked out 13 guys with 13 punches. 3 guys approached me at once. I knocked out all 3 guys before any of them could throw a punch. You know, they threw exactly 0 punches, those 13 guys. You know, so once I'm king, these pound for clowns that fucking steal my attributes, I'm gonna fucking treat you like a little bitch.